Where are we? Right, welcome everybody this afternoon. I think it's a Tuesday today, and before we do anything else, I'm going to do this. Well, that was us at Excel back in March of this year, and absolutely amazingly, we are running our own show this Thursday. And today, I have an amazing person that has just kind of like, this is where we're going to be. But at the moment, we have on board this gentleman here that I'm going to bring on stage. So, welcome, Keith.
Hello.
Keith has jumped in at the last minute and helped us out with our show guide, our program. And we want to say a really, really big, huge thank you to Keith for helping us out with that. And you'll be able to pick up your own copy at the Expo. So, Keith, one of the things I wanted to ask you was, can you briefly introduce your company and explain why you decided to sponsor the Expo?
Well, my name's Keith Barker. My business is called Keithomatic Marketing and Design. I am a graphic designer, first and foremost, and my business basically specializes in design and marketing for small businesses. So the reason I got involved was because Caroline asked me to. I'd done a little bit of design work for Caroline earlier in the year, and she asked me if I would do it, and I thought about it for about 2 seconds, and I thought, yeah, it's a good fit, because I've been a 4N member for 4 years, and I've got a lot of business through 4N, and it's the kind of people that go to 4N are my kind of customers. So it didn't really take me very long to say yes.
Well, we're so pleased that you did, because I mean, I actually didn't know you before, we got you on board to help with the show guide. And, it's only been probably, a couple of weeks from when you came on board to where we are now. And I've got absolutely no hesitation in saying to people, you need to get all over Keith with what his business is, because you're just amazing to work with. And
that's very nice of you to say so.
Well, I wouldn't say I didn't mean it. You made things happen. If there was tweaks to be made, you kind of like did that. Nothing was too big a deal for you, which is fantastic. And you're there offering advice and help and everything else, which we are really, really grateful for. So what kind of like key benefits have you gained, or do you think that you will gain from being a sponsor, especially in terms of brand exposure and engagement?
That's really why I'm doing it. I mean, I before I agreed to be a sponsor, I was already an exhibitor. So I got one of the early bird exhibitor spaces. And the reason I did that, and that'll be the first time I've ever exhibited anywhere. And the reason I did that was because I needed some exposure, really, some brand exposure. I'm very well known in the East Midlands. This is where I'm based. And this show is also in the East Midlands, but it's an excuse and a good reason for me to get out there and show my face to the rest of the network. I don't tend to do a lot of the online networking, but I do the face-to-face networks, especially in the East Midlands. I'm part of the team at Loughborough face-to-face, and there are meetings in Derby and Nottingham, and I go to all of those. But I'm not so well known north and south of there. So that was the main reason for me agreeing to sponsor it, because it's just great for getting my name out there,
Yeah, well, absolutely. And maybe we need to try and tweak it a little bit so that we see you a bit more online, because you're missing out, Keith, definitely missing out. There's some great meetings online as well. So it's great that it's your first expo and that you came along, and also people will be able to get really special deals for our next expo. But I'm not going to be talking about our next expo. You have to kind of like find out by coming along on Thursday. But what specific goals or initiatives are you looking to achieve during this year's expo?
Well, the main reason that I'm there, apart from the brand exposure and just getting to know people, is to try and get people to join my mailing list. I did this before when 4N used to do the TBNS show in Aston Villa football ground. And I went there a couple of years, and both times I ran a little competition. Even though I didn't have a stand, I was a bit naughty, and I took a stand with me anyway, and I stuck it up with a barcode on it, and I basically said, if you want to win one of these, scan this in and join my mailing list. And both the times I did it, it was really successful. So this time I thought I probably should do it properly, and I'll buy a stand instead. I invested in an exhibition stand, but I will be doing the same thing. I will be giving away, this time it's one of those desktop pull-up banner things, which will be designed for the winner, basically, and printed and shipped to them. I think it's worth about 85 quid. So that's what I'll be giving away. That's the competition. But I've also got various other things that I'm going to talk about. A couple of my services. I've got something that I'm going to be putting on sale as well. So various little bits. I've even got some free stuff for people to come and take away as well.
Oh, everybody loves freebies, especially kind of like collecting the chocolates and the pens.
Well, I don't have any chocolates, but I do have some pens.
I'm sure I can find chocolate elsewhere, but because we've got like 44 stands, so it's absolutely amazing that we've managed to pull together that many in such a short period of time, and diverse as well. Some are 4N members and a lot aren't 4N members, so there's going to be plenty of people to see that people wouldn't have known before, or wouldn't be able to see on the 4N networking circuit. So that's great. So could you share some highlights or key events that attendees should look forward to you said that at your booth, at your stand, but also related to your sponsorship?
I don't know about that. I mean, all I'm doing is standing there on my stand and being available. So it's nothing any more sophisticated than that. One of the things I would say, and this is, she'll kill me for doing this, but if you're going to go to the show, go and listen to Sheena Wyatt talk, because she's my business coach, and she's extremely good. So if you've not heard her speak before, then go and do that. I think she's the first speaker on. I can't remember, but yeah, go and listen to Sheena. And if you're looking for a business coach that doesn't like, I'm not going to use that expression on live, but she basically tells you how it is politely. And we'll kick you out the backside if you don't do things. So if you need that kind of a business coach, have a chat to Sheena.
But there's also other keynote speakers available as well. So we have speakers throughout the day. We also have Keith Blakemore Noble coming down from Elgin up in Scotland, which is like a 500-mile trip. So everybody's looking forward to seeing him in the flesh, so to speak, as we've only ever seen him online. How can Expo attendees and viewers engage with your company during the event, and what can they expect to learn or experience? Well,
like I said, it's very low tech, my attendance at the show. I'm not one of these that's going to be live streaming anything. If you want to talk to me, you can come and talk to me in the face, face to face. If you join my mailing list has got lots of interesting things on it. There's one of the things I have on my mailing list is a 21-day daily email sequence, which talks about how businesses can help market themselves using print, which is one of my things that I talk about a lot, because a lot of companies use social media for marketing, but they don't use print. They think it's either old-fashioned, or they don't know how to do it, or they think it's too expensive, and it's not really any of those things. Mm-hmm. And part of my mailing list, there's a 3-week thing. You get one email a day, and everybody that's seen it loves it. So you can get that. Other than that, you can come and talk to me, and I shall talk to you.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, networking is about building relationships, and it's about having those conversations, because we never know where those connections and those conversations can actually go. And you can see there, Caroline's been watching, and she says, fabulous job on the brochure. So many thanks for doing that. I think Debbie's also going to have a stand there, and she's saying hello as well. So if we have a look at kind of like future collaborations, so are there any plans for future collaborations or projects related to the Expo that you'd like to mention?
No. No, I mean, I only came on board 2 weeks ago, and I had a holiday in that time. So no, I've not had the time to organise anything like that, unfortunately. But I mean, there are people who have stands there that I already work with. There are a number of people who are already my clients. There are people who I've had their services as well. So that's the joy of working with a company like 4N or a networking organisation like 4N, is that there's so much collaboration that goes on. Even though if I've not organised anything for this particular show, there'll be plenty of people to talk to and to try and hopefully collaborate with in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure there will. I mean, there are loads of really exciting stands there, and obviously we've got a couple of speed networking sessions as well. So, you know, even exhibitors can get involved in the speed sessions, because that's another great way of actually getting to meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. And
yeah, the speed networking thing is I've seen it before at TBNS, and I looked at it, I was horrified. I thought, oh my god, that's not for me. And then I did an online one about a month ago, and it was actually all right. So as long as I can get away from my stand, I might do one of them. So we'll see how we go.
It's a bit different in the flesh, because it's not quite as all encompassing as what we do when we're online, but people just get so much from it as well. You know, you almost need a crowbar to prise people apart because they don't want to stop talking.
Yeah.
But it's about making those connections, and there's plenty of room outside of where the Expo is taking place where people can go and have one-to-ones and stuff like that. So definitely a great place to be meeting people for sure, and also having those discussions with people, because I know there's going to be some amazing attendees that are turning up that don't have the stands. And as I said, we will be launching our Expo for next year as well. So once we've done that at the show, that will be going live online as well. And who knows, Keith, I might come knocking at your door again.
I'll make sure I'm on holiday that particular week.
Don't you dare, don't you dare. So have you got any other parting words or anything else that you'd like to say or comment on?
Not really, no, other than it went surprisingly smoothly, considering how last minute it was. Yourself and Amelia and me, between us, we made it work in 2 days. So you've already said you were very pleased to work with me. It was a pleasure to work with the pair of you as well, because it was just so smooth. I've had jobs where the communication's been a nightmare, and people don't want to know, or they don't answer the phone, or they point the finger at somebody else. It wasn't anything like that. It was very professionally done. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the event now.
Thank you very much. And so am I, because Amelia and I are driving up there tomorrow. So anyway, we look forward to meeting everybody at the Expo this Thursday, the 26th, up in the, as it's saying at the bottom there, the Delta by Marriott Nottingham Belfry.
It's the world's longest hotel name.
Yeah, I know. They've obviously been bought out, haven't they? The breakfast meeting, as far as I can see, is completely booked, which is fantastic. So there's going to be at least 40 people there. If not, they might have squeezed another 1 or 2 in. But again, the Expo starts at 4:30. It's 4:30. No, it finishes then. It starts at 10:30. Phew, and goes on till 4:30. And you really don't want to miss the last speaker, Jeff Smith. You really don't want to miss him. So you need to stay for the whole length. And Keith, once again, many, many thanks for everything that you've done to help with the show guide, the program. And I look forward to meeting you on Thursday.
Yeah, and the same to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.